Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. So this is Fragrance Meets Fierce Beauty. I have created an entire look around a fragrance that I am so obsessed with. I hope you enjoyed this video. We talk about something very serious in this video too. Are you ready? Let's get this beauty started. All right, so I'm going to start off with a very simple makeup application. This whole look is based off of this fragrance from Vireo. This is a new one called Luditrix. I think that's the name of it. And when this lookbook came to me, you know, I've showed you a couple of these fragrances before, and I know you love them. I have Sunray, which is like a burst of sunshine. It's really light, really fresh. They have also Georgette was I think my first one that was based when it said rose. I'm like, of course, because you know, I love rose. I love complex fragrances. I love layering my fragrances. I'm very much into fragrance. I feel like it really does change your mood. And when I saw this come through, it said lipstick, latex, rose. I said, that's for me. I know I'm going to love it. I cannot wait to test this out. And ever since it came, I haven't been able to it's like, I don't have enough on I just love spraying it and love smelling it. It's a very interesting company. It's all about mood. It's all about lifting your vibration, lifting your, and this isn't sponsored. Like, I don't do PR unboxings with you because I feel like so many brands send me so much junk, whether it's the packaging, whether it's just to put something else on the market, whether it's just too much. And I don't need to do that because I want you to just know what's really good, what I buy, what I wear. As an esthetician, I think that's really important. There's too much stuff on the market and I think it becomes very overwhelming. And I think it becomes like oversaturated and you get tired and numb. And I want you to be very excited about the things that you wear and you purchase and having a small collection of those things. So I thought it would be really kind of cool to create this look. I have on this just double-breasted linen blazer. And I thought it worked perfectly with this fragrance. You know, we're going to spray it now so I smell absolutely divine. And you know what else? I have another fragrance. When it said lipstick in this fragrance, I have another fragrance from Frederic Malle called Lipstick Rose. I don't know anyone else that has this fragrance, wears this fragrance. I've never seen it on Instagram, never seen anybody show it. And I bought this 4 or 5 years ago. And my first one was Portrait of a Lady. My husband bought that for me for my birthday. And then when we were in the store in New York, I saw Lipstick Rose and I thought that will be my next fragrance. I smell like a walking lipstick bullet and I love it. As a makeup artist, I was like, that's what I want to smell. So it's very interesting. You know, obviously fragrance is subjective. So I see a lot of you though that do buy my recommendations and are thrilled. That makes me so happy because I really intentionally try to only show you things that are really, I feel, worth the investment, worth wearing or using that really work. So on my face, the only thing I put on right now was Peter Thomas Roth literally just came in the mail. I think they just reformulated this to be able to work with makeup. This is the eye tightener. This is called Made Easy. So it is the Instant Firm Eye Temporary Eye Tightener Easy Wear Formula. So on here on the back, it has a little Q&A that came in the PR box and it says, can I use concealer? Yes, concealer is okay. Easy Wear is formulated to be compatible with makeup because the first one wasn't. I did a video back in 2021 with a Fierce Aging guest that had extreme puffiness underneath her eyes. That video has over 1 million views. You can go and look at it underneath my playlist for Fierce Aging. And it was very difficult to I knew I wasn't going to be able to put makeup on over it. So I did take it off, but it dramatically, the thumbnail is her before and after. It was incredible. So this now is able to be compatible with makeup. It says, tip, try different techniques under makeup, mixed with makeup, etc., to see which works best for your skin type. And in the box, it does come with a little brush. So it says to put it on your hand first, a little bit pea size, use it with the brush like this, and then put it on underneath. And that's what I did. I used the fan and I don't feel like it's like giving me that kind of feeling felt like dried egg whites before, you know, like you have like this film. Doesn't feel like that at all. So I'm thrilled. So I'm kind of doing it backwards, but I just wanted to test it out. Let's see what happens when I just do a little eye balm here, but you're not supposed to do it this way, but I will see what happens. So this is really exciting. because we're going to be using Tom Ford mixed in with Fresh Beauty. We're getting really a fierce kind of vibe going on. I'm going to be putting on my Clé de Peau, this SPF 50. This is a UV protective cream that they sent me, and I actually really like it because it's a little bit thicker than my other ones that I've been using. They're more like serum. So this is more of a lotion. So I'm going to just add this. I'm using it as my lotion SPF. So I only have one step to do. When I have too much of the product still left on, I will use it on the top of my hands. So I definitely protect my hands because they are always getting sun on the steering wheel. This is the packaging. It's a little interesting. It's like just this paper kind of box, if you will, for the Vireo. And the fragrance profile on the back says, this is what really got me. It says here, it's for passion and arousal, naughty notes of lipstick and latex entwined with powdery rose. And then it says energizing Szechuan pepper. And it just started to get into like really just very interesting description of this fragrance. I knew just from like the first sentence or two that this was going to be really beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our eyes, and that's going to start off with our eye primer. This is going to just neutralize out my eyes so I can get this really beautiful fresh look, base of the lash all the way up to my brow bone. You can see like I have to remove this pigmentation. It is not a look that I want to have. I don't want to go over with my eyeshadow palettes because I'm going to muddy up my eyes. It's not going to be nice and true. The eye primer is a cream product that is more of like a cream to powder. You don't need a lot, just enough. You can see I start in the center and you can see the difference. Like this is so pigmented. We're just lightening it up. We're neutralizing out so that you get this beautiful, really polished look. Eye primer is on, set up for success already. Now we can go into our eyeshadow. I think that I'm going to do, this is the Body Heat from Tom Ford. I just want to go into this rosy color here. I think it'll be really beautiful. I'm going to use that on my lid and see what we have. I haven't done it this way before, but I have some thoughts for you since this fragrance is, all about, let me see what it says here, for passion and arousal. I want to ask you what you think about what's going on the red carpet right now. I don't even remember what award show it was recently, but I follow closely, everything that's going on in the news. And there's two actresses. This is interesting. It did I forget, Tom Ford expands on me. So I probably put on a little too much, as you can see, but that's all right. Let's just keep working with this and maybe we can wash it down. Nikol Johnson, she is the daughter of Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith. And she was wearing what's called naked dressing. I guess it's a trend. I'm not quite sure. I know from being in the industry, I know it's about PR. I know it's about going viral. I know it's about the designers getting the, shock value. I get it. I totally get it. Right. But I really don't get like what we're doing as women. We're marching. We want equality, all of these things. And then we show up on the red carpet naked. So Margot Robbie did the same thing. She had a Giorgio Armani Privé, beautiful dress. It was like gold and sequined or crystalled, but it was just see-through. And it was a very, very low back. And I mean, she's basically naked with just that over. Usually you would have it would be lined or, it's a beautiful dress. It's just that I just don't think it's necessary to have it see-through and be naked. Now, what was really shocking to me was that she's on the red carpet with Colin Farrell and he's in a suit with a trench coat on. And he's fully clothed and she's naked. So I'm just having a really hard time understanding that, we want to be paid the same. We want all of these things. And then we show up naked next to a clothed man. I don't know. I'm feeling like it's like a little bit of a disconnect. That's my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. Not right or wrong. That's my opinion on it. I don't know what your opinion is for women. I mean, we're trying to, I don't know. I did poll my audience over on Instagram. I said I wasn't going to repost so I could really find out what my audience was thinking. And I can share that with you because I'm not reposting it. I'm just telling you what their thoughts were. So if I go back to my archive here, let me just go in and see what we said. So some of my audience said, gorgeous, this makes me so sad, beautiful, not my taste, but stunning nonetheless, the craftsmanship. I'm not sure the question, love. I think she looks stunning. I also noticed women tend to embrace showing a lot more skin after they have babies. I love it. I just don't understand why these beautiful, famous women expose themselves. It's one giant piece of jewelry and it's gorgeous. I like it. I don't understand the naked trend. Such a beautiful dress. If it was lined, stunning, beautiful, but not fashionable in my opinion. It's great. She can wear it, yet it is not wearable to most events. Too much, but if I look like that, why are women showing up almost nude at these events? Disgusting. Leaving something to the imagination is always more sexy. This was too much. Beautiful woman, insulting dress. Nope. Best look of the year. Too revealing. She is stunning. Tacky. Beautiful. It is beautiful, embroidered, and a very simple silhouette, but a nude underlayer would have been better. Nope. With the nudity. Why do they feel the need? Mystery is sexier. So it goes on and on and on about, not classy, too much. So it was really mixed. It was like, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so tacky. So I wasn't really quite sure to get a really good read. I would love to know from you what you think. I mean, do you think this in 2025 is the way we want to go? We show up naked on the red carpet, but the men are fully clothed. Now, I'm going to read to you something that I asked, and I know we don't really love ChatGPT, but I just kind of wanted to find out, if I asked this little machine, what it thought. And it said, the paradox of empowerment versus objectification. When women walk the red carpet nearly naked, some frame it as agency and empowerment. I choose to show my body. I own it, not to society. But at the same time, it can't be separated from the long history of women's body being commodified for attention, profit, or validation in industries like fashion and Hollywood. That's the paradox. What feels empowering for one woman can look like objectification in the bigger cultural picture. So that's what you see on my Instagram. We have one side being like, it's beautiful, it's amazing. Oh, she just had a baby, all of the things. And then there's the other side. It's tacky. It's completely indecent exposure, etc. So why don't men do it? Men, especially in Hollywood, don't face the same social or professional pressure to prove themselves through sexual appeal. Their credibility isn't tied to their appearance in the same way. That's why you don't see George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio showing up in sheer lace suits. It's not an expectation of masculinity. For women, the entertainment and fashion machine still rewards shock value, skin, and spectacle. So then it comes down to say, the red carpet isn't just about clothing, it's about PR, fashion houses, and media spectacle. Designers want their looks to be talked about, and celebrities want relevance. The naked dress is essentially a guaranteed viral moment. It's not just personal choice, it's industry machinery. So that made sense to me where I was like, okay. But then I was like, well, what about this whole feminist thing and wanting to be taken seriously? And it says, here's the contradiction. Women fight for equality, autonomy, and respect, but the most visible stages still often reduce them to their bodies. Some argue that this undermines the feminist message. Others argue that feminism includes the right to express sexuality however you want, even if that looks like a contradiction to outsiders. So basically, I just was thinking to myself, okay, it's an interesting conversation because I just, I'm kind of thinking to myself, aren't we over this now? Bring back the 50s and 60s when we dressed and we really had style, we had grace, and it just looked just really incredible. And, right now, I think that it's like we can't get enough. We need the shock value, and it keeps raising the bar to the point where it's like, where do we go from showing up on the red carpet naked? Where do we go from here as women? And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the answers. I just know that I would love to see a little bit more thought when it comes to what women are wearing, because I think about our daughters, our nieces, our granddaughters looking at that as inspiration. That's what they want to attain. I mean, that's true. When you see celebrities, they are influential, especially to younger women. And they're thinking, oh, I want to look like that. I want to wear that. It's completely acceptable. I don't know. That's the only thing that really kind of has me pause for a second. I'm using Strong Brew Completely Matte. I'm going to go in with the first color. It's the lightest color. I'm going to see if I can bring this down just a little bit. You can see, I think I went a little much with the body heat with that rose color, but I'm loving it. This is a little trick that I've taught you before. Bring it down with a lighter color. It's almost like a little pantyhose, right? It just softened it a little bit. If you don't want it as intense, you can do that. I just felt like every time I use Tom Ford, I get excited and then I forget that it really does kind of expand. That's the best word I can use because I think it's going to be perfect. And then it's like, whoa, really went wild. I'm going to go in with the darkest color here. It's just a nice matte, beautiful dark chocolate. I'm going to take my smudge brush and I'm going to go into this, just kind of giving me, I want to do like this rosy smoky eye. So I would love in the comments below, let me know what you think. I mean, maybe I'm just really just being hyper about the whole thing. Maybe it really doesn't matter. Does it matter? I mean, that women are showing up on the red carpet naked. I'm just not quite sure what the next step is. Like, I'm a little afraid of where we're going to take this next. But I think that this is going to be just a really beautiful look. I have a meeting at 3, so I'm keeping it just really fierce, but also very approachable, just working with different colors. I'm just taking all my pads. These are the oil free. I'm going to lift up because I want to always be lifting up. I feel like the shadow gets a little low. So lift up, lift up. Now I'll take a little leftover on the smudge brush and I'll go underneath to give it some just balance. I think, though, that you can be extremely fierce and extremely powerful by not dressing naked. Showing up, being completely polished, there is such a thing as power dressing. I tend to lean towards that compared to naked dressing. Like the power dressing, I just put something on Instagram stories recently where it was a runway show back from the 90s, but they were all in like power suits. And I just thought it was like, there was no age limit to power dressing and to being able to express yourself. And really, you're demanding a certain respect when you think about what you're wearing and you show up to, whether it's meetings, the supermarket, the PTA, wherever you're going, the airplane, you are dressed with a certain expectation of how you're going to be treated. So I don't know what the treatment is like if you are dressing naked. I feel like you're losing your power for some reason when I think about that. And I think about standing next to a man in a suit with a trench coat on, fully armored with clothing, and you are naked. Like, where is your power? Where's like the power move? I feel like there's a very big balance like that is really off kilter. That's what I think when I look at that. I'm going to go in with my dark chocolate. But before, let's just do a little curling of the lashes. This is my Shuamura eyelash curler. It's the best curler I have ever used because it lifts the eyes with not a lot of effort. Lashes are curled. We're going in with our waterproof dark chocolate eyeliner. This is going to be ultra, ultra smooth on your eyes. I made it for mature women because I knew that you were probably struggling with pencils that were not giving you that pigment, that payoff, that were very hard to use, that were not lasting. So I'm going to just do a little bit, like a little 3/4 right there. But this is really, really nice. If you are struggling with getting liner on, you can see I'm just doing little short strokes because this is very pigmented. It's very soft. So you don't want to put a lot of pressure and you don't want to try to go from the inner corner all the way out. I only do pretty much halfway on my eye, making sure that it's lifting up at the ends. And then we're going to go in with my mascara. I'm going in with my Volume Up mascara. This is a beautiful mascara that is going to grab every single baby lash you have. And then literally you can see it's like lifting up my eyelid. Like it's lifting, it's like a comb. So it's grabbing all of those baby lashes, base of the lash. You can see I'm wiggling back and forth. The funny thing is I am using my brown mascara. This is our dark brown that is coming out this year, which is very exciting. I did get a updated date that still I'm nervous about. I don't release the date until it's shipped. So this is the brown. So we're going dark brown today with our really, sexy, beautiful look. So this is going to give you, I haven't used the brown mascara in a makeup tutorial on my lashes, only the bottoms on my lives. So this is really nice. I could see from this distance, I was like, wait a second, this is the brown mascara. So this is wonderful. I love the brown with the rose in the dark chocolate. So this is actually this was a good mistake. I didn't think I pulled the brown mascara, but I did. So at least you can see what it looks like. Oh, you know what? I got to do just a little bit of the dark chocolate on this side. And then what's really nice now, though, is that I'll do it after. I will put a little brown on the bottom lashes. So now it's complexion time. This is my favorite time because I like to have it all come together. I'm just going to brush my brows up a second. So we're going to use the color corrector. I could use the color corrector and then just a little concealer if I wanted to and skip the BB cream. But today I'm going to concentrate on where my pigmentation is. So I go up into that inner corner, come down, I come back out here. Then I just do a little like on the sides where my pigmentation is. I give it a little help because I don't want to see that through. My BB cream is a beautiful complexion blur. It's not masking the face. It's not heavy. It's not this like really, masked formulation. So this helps. This lifts the color. This gives me more of an even tone. I'm just going to use my foundation buffing brush and I'm going to just press into my skin just like this. You're going to see that Just Peachy is going to really just lift the color. I'm going to do it on the other side. And then I'll take my concealer brush and then I'm going to just work this in just like this. So I'm pressing in. You notice that I didn't go all the way up to underneath my eye because this product is going to move. It has shea butter in it. It's beautiful if you hydrate your eyes. If you go to a dry skin and you try to put this on, you're going to not be very happy because it will skip. It's going to not feel good on your skin. You have to prep your skin properly. So today I just did a little SPF. That's the hydrator. I feel like it's enough. I did a little eye balm. I'll link everything below that I used. And I don't really feel, I could do a face primer. I kind of actually missed that step, so we don't have to worry. We're going to now go into our BB cream. I'm taking my BB cream in light medium. This is fragrance free, semi-matte. It's actually just perfect for mature skin. That's how I formulated it because I knew exactly how I wanted it to look on your skin on Fierce Aging. I wanted you to have this most beautiful complexion, radiant still, not dulling out your skin, not putting it on like it's a mask. And I didn't want greasy and glossy and going everywhere. I wanted it to set up beautifully. This is going to give you so much confidence. It is just absolutely beautiful. You're going to feel it when you put it on. You do not need a lot of this product. The buffing brush is going to be the best way to apply it, in my opinion. I don't think a sponge is going to be ideal. It just soaks up so much of the product. If you find that you're getting streaking when you're doing this, you have too heavy of a moisturizer underneath. There's too many layers, too much going on. So you just want to be very mindful of that. You can see though that I do get a really beautiful radiance to the skin. You can see that it's just lighting up my skin. It's not masking it. It doesn't look heavy and like, wait, what did you just do? You don't want your makeup to age you. You want it to really work with you, not against you. So this formula is beautiful. Hyaluronic acid, cockatoo plum. You got that vitamin C. It's clean beauty, cruelty-free, comes in fair, light, medium, and tan. So now that's why I like to put this on first. And then I see, do I need to put on a concealer? I think today, because I feel like I'm just a little bit needing to do just a little bit here, just like that. And then we'll work that in. Just working this in with the concealer brush, just right where I feel like I have the most darkness, just right here. The reason why I'm not putting on a ton and then trying to drag it underneath my eye is because I'm going to get creasing underneath there. That's where I have a little creasing where my skin creases. So I try to be very mindful that I'm not just putting it in that area. I will go back and I will set this, but I just wanted to lighten up that area that I really do struggle with a little bit. It's gotten a lot better, but I still have a little bit right here. So you can see nice and bright. Now, before I do that, let's go back in before I forget and do a little brown underneath my eye, my lashes, just giving it, since it is a nice dark rich brown, I think it'll be a nice complement. All right, just a little bit for that bottom, the bottom lashes. Then we're going to go right into let's do the lips before we do the cheeks. We're going in with Cameo. I'm going to just line the lips really nicely. And I have a very special little combo that I'm going to do here. Cameo is on. I'm just going to actually fill in a little bit with the Cameo. Then we're going to go over with a little Manifest and Glow. This is my lip gloss. It's going to give me a little bit of that buffer because I'm going to go over with my Fleur. This is my beautiful new color that has come out. It's a beautiful pink, and I don't want it just from the bullet. So we're going to do this. Do you see how it's coming together? Don't really want a red. I want that like lipsticky, like pinky red. So this is how I'm doing it. So Fleur's on, giving that really beautiful gloss. Not red, not too pink, just really like you want that confidence. You want that, kind of lipstick, rose, giving the whole vibe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my two cream blushes. This is St. Bart's and this is Paris. This is such a really great combo. So I have a really beautiful kind of like petally pink, as you can see. And then Paris is going to bump that up with a little bit of this beautiful kind of berry color. I love this combo together. I think it's so pretty. I did it on Fierce Aging one time and I thought, this is such a pretty combo. You have to kind of mix and match and see what you want. Like, should you do maybe you would do the Paris first and then you would go over with the St. Bart. Depends on what kind of color you're looking for your skin. But I'm going to just work it in just like that. I wanted to put my lips on first to see like, where are we? I don't want to have too much of a cheek, but isn't this beautiful? And if you feel like, oh gosh, it's like a little too like, too berry, go back with the St. Bart's, which is your petally pink, and then just kind of diffuse it down a little bit. It's really gorgeous. It's just very pretty. I'm going to now, let's just do the brows just one more time to like make them stay up. I could use a little brow gel if I wanted to. I don't have it in front of me, so I won't. But the last step is going to be our soft set technique. That is with our Nikita Banana, our brightening powder, talc-free, gluten-free, pressed powder. It has that banana color to it, so it's going to brighten. I'm setting right underneath my eyes where I need to. Just right here. Nice soft set. Just enough, not too much. I can come down here a little bit because sometimes I get a little bit of T-zone. And there we have it. I will spray my hair up, kind of get all these kind of little frizzies kind of back before my meeting. But I hope you enjoyed just kind of like taking a lipstick or taking a perfume and matching a look to it. It just is such a beautiful fragrance. I probably haven't loved something as much. I mean, you've seen all of the fragrances I've been adding into my collection within the last year or so. And then I'll layer it with, I wouldn't even layer this with my Tom Ford ombre leather. I do that with a lot with my rose fragrances from Louis Vuitton. This one, I don't want anything mixing with it. It just smells intoxicating. It's like, I kept coming back to it saying, oh gosh, I really want to just keep adding it. Like, is it too much? I don't know if it's too much. I had my husband smell it and he goes, wow, that really smells good. And I didn't even have it on yet. I said, smell this right now. He's like, that's really good. I said, I know. I really love just kind of creating something a little bit different. I think that fragrance is an accessory. I consider makeup a lipstick color an accessory. I think it's adding to the whole look. I hope that you experiment with your makeup, with a mood, with elevating your mood when it comes to your favorite fragrance or experimenting. Viaero has a sampling pack. This one's not included, but if you wanted to buy a sampling pack that you can smell all their different fragrances, I think that's a really great way to start so you can understand this is the profile I like, or I tend to be more of like a lighter, or I like a little bit deeper. At least you kind of can figure that out when you have a sampling pack. So again, I'll link everything below that I used. And until my next video, I'll see you later.